in all Sufyan of all thought. As-salam, as-salam, as-salam. Peace and goodwill to all. Spirits on earth, and we pray that all spirits find peace. Divine shout out to As-salam, Abraham. If it wasn't for Abraham, wouldn't be no descendants with this true devotion. A devotion like no other. Abraham was known as the great man, what is called the great self, the greater self. Because we're talking about a certain uprightness and a certain true devotional spirit. So as always, this is holy and divine. The disciplines and the knowledge have been given forth from the Lord to the people. It is your choice to believe or to not believe. The knowledge and the disciplines have been shown, the proofs have been given. And so the choice is left for you, yourself. But if you was trained to take it to the highest level of the spiritual plane, the highest quality of spirit life is purity. We're talking the highest, finest quality. So all those who don't understand what the highest and finest quality is, there go the word from the Lord. This is what made Abraham who he was. Not because he followed the people, but because he followed the Lord. And from him following the Lord, we have today what has came out of that true devotional spirit, known as faiths and religions. All faiths and all religions don't stem from Jesus, but stems from Abraham. Jesus comes from the line of Abraham, such as all of the true prophets. So no longer is any of this to you, to the people. The people have been served. This is now strictly to the Lord. So as we have our first presentation of this permanence, so you can choose from this last presentation if you want to go any further. This is the difference between the land and the water. The spiritual and the illusion. The truth or the falsehood. So when to understand what our great forefather understood, which is the greatest man in history, well known to scholars and in academia. They maybe gave you throwed off names or even maybe watered down names. You might have heard of like Hermes Trismegistus, 3 times great. You may have heard of Thoth, pronounced Thoth. You might have heard of Ptah. You might have heard of Enoch. You may have heard of DJ Hootie. You may even heard of Maya. None of those come before Abraham. When we talking a understanding of the divine creator, the creator of all existence and of all things, then no one have the proficiency as our first forefather, Abraham. even the left-hand path has to take from our great forefather, Abraham, and water down his divine wisdom, fortified and reinforced by divine law. And they want to water it down, these left-hand paths, to something weak and deceptive called magic. So when you twist our forefather into that filthiness, you have phrases such as the greatest magician. Now this tucked off in your hadiths. So this is in honor and memory of who really did this. Not talk this, but walk this uprightly. So we talking about the truth of things. And so to get to the truth of things, we had to bring that preface in so you can understand the divine topic. The meaning of the name Allah, the way. If you got any declarations, please shout them out or put them in the comment box to be seen or written down. As what do you know the meaning of the name of Allah? Because if so, we don't even need this broadcast if you already know. And so most people have heard of God, most people have heard of Allah. When you are given a name, you are given a meaning. So I want to know, to believers, what do they believe the name God, Allah, means? Why are these names meaningful? Meaningful to you? Yourself. Because this is the divine wisdom. I don't come to parakeet. I don't come to reinstate what's being said. I'm not a carousel. I'm a unique divine spirit.
Right on. Right on.
So what I have to say to you is first, and then next, original. We're going to bring the facts, those that can sense, and then we're going to bring the truth, those that have to be comprehended.
Oh.
So as we get aboard this spiritual plane, we're going to get some for your five senses.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just a moment. We're going to have something for your five senses.
Good. They need it. Wake them up.
We're going to start off a little easier, and then we're going to graduate.
Yeah.
I feel this is elementary,
Mhm.
where this is a even place we all can begin.
Right on.
And if it's not, please say or put in the comment,
Mhm.
and we'll simplify it. Instead of reading the entire passage, we want to identify a particular understanding. That the ultimate goal of man, being male and female, is to attain the blessedness of perfectness. This is the ultimate goal of man, being male and female. You are to attain unto a particular blessedness. And this can be understood as perfectness. Perfect. And to get to this blessed state of identifying you yourself as perfectness. This is what we got to get into the meaning. The meaning of the name of God, Allah, is the way. The way is telling us to be, not go, and not do. You don't have to go anywhere to make this a permanence. This is a what is called al-Jannah as-Salam, the paradise, the place, the spiritual place of the paradise. So as we go into a level of constant change, I'm not talking about distilling this constant change into a permanence in being. meaning it don't cut off once you cross to true devotional spirit. To attain self-perfection is to be at one. Remember, this is not a going or a doing. This is a being. Being at one. This is the key components. To be at one with all are. The at one point is what we need for self-discovery. Self is the being. Being can be understood as self, the self. But what self does not understand, and this self has to learn, that it's being, not its thoughts, not others' words, not what you've been told, not the things you've seen done. None of that affects the self that's being at one. And we are in self-discovery to the meaning of this one. We have also been known for God, Allah, to be called the one. We can say through elementary that we know one is not two. So we at a very simple simplex where everything unifies. Where there is not two. A second as two does not follow with the. So to understand God, Allah, the way, you have to understand the one. And the reason to understand this one is because this one is always with the divine creator. This is what Abraham attained. And not only attained for himself, but left the blueprint to all humanity, and especially his own descendants. We're talking about being here, not no hocus and pocus, not no dumb and dumber. We're talking about living and being. Now we are truly understanding life. That the reason to live comes from that life is not the cause. but the one is the causing of what you think is others are the cause of. This what was called self-mastery. This is what was called self-discipline. This is what was called the final understanding of self. Now we're going to get deep in this now.
Oh, come on with it.
Deep means simple. So when we're going to get deep, that means we're finna get simple. B is short for being. Being is the one. The one needs to understand it's with the divine creator. This is divine revelation. The self, the one, is the only being with the divine creator. You yourself now, I want us to see what's not there so we can start seeing what is there. Now, what's not there is as above, so below. You can cancel that out your mind. There is no duality. Where's the dualism? Where's the verses? Where's the against? Where's the for? Where's the battle? If one is with, where is there a battle? Why is there a for? Even why is there an against? If it's with, then it means it's already. Tell me if you got to go get something that's with you, or in life experience, you had to go get something that you didn't have with you. So from the divine creator perspective, the self is never without.
Beautiful.
It's creator.
Beautiful.
But false prophets have taught otherwise and created what was just expounded on. The for and the against. Creating the have and the have not. you have everything and if you don't know you have everything, guess what? You have not. This is why self-knowledge is so important. Because anyone that is outside of the boundary of the outer court called the flesh can change your mind.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
And it ain't for you. And listen, it ain't for you. So this is what the Romans have done. They have changed your mind. And how you simply change one mind is called doubt.
That's right.
The masters of doubt, the Roman Christians, the Catholic Church is who changed this doctrine. And why you don't know it in its pristine clarity. Because some of us called the Catholic Church said that you can't get close to God without a priest.
That's correct.
So hence comes Jesus, the Catholic Church, Savior. Before we go back simple, let's ask another question. Who committed the crime of murdering innocent Jesus? They have not committed not one physical sin. Who and not recorded as committing any sin, but through heresy, or we say it in nigger terms, hearsay, she say, he say, she say.
Look at him.
Who committed the crime in committing the crime of murdering the innocent and pure Jesus?
Go ahead.
Jews, I heard.
Well, according to the Bible, what I've read, in the story being told, I remember the name, the Romans coming up, and Christian name coming up, and Jews coming up. Them three right there. Those are the accusers, the backbiters and the busybodies that said that he had committed a crime. And why they killed him is because of the fact that he said that he was of God, of the creator, of truth. I guess they were trying to convert everybody, like what they done this day and time now, converted everybody to be liars and wrongdoers. And then they had it. But they couldn't convert Jesus over to being what they were. He got to go. I yield the floor.
And that's the point of the message. Not only were both answers right, that it was the Jews and the Romans who now call themselves Christians is who murdered one who was innocent. And they murdered one who was innocent because he wouldn't bow down. So the Christians are the believers that became Christians by way of murdering and committing crime against purity. By murdering this message right here.
Come on with it.
By murdering that message, they was murdering you yourself.
That's right.
And instead of being at one with your divine creator, you decided to believe the murderers and the crime committers and the criminals who killed innocence and purity. This is the message that they killed innocence for. Because there was a way to be at one with. You didn't need institutions. You didn't need public opinion. You didn't need self is will. And this is where all the power got sucked and drained into institutions, empowering false prophets, false leaders as authority figures to now teach you. And you can only be taught through them of how to be one with when you was already one with. This is the devastating part. Because time has taken over since the murder of Jesus.
That's right.
And what people have become is not the same as Jesus. But there are false prophets saying they come in the name. And Jesus himself said, the false prophets will come in my name. Y'all don't understand the game, do you? See, the name is the self. If you yourself come in another's name, you are a liar and a false prophet. Don't no true prophet come in another prophet's name. What prophet prayed to another prophet? When Jesus is praying, he's not praying to no prophet. Now you know what was going on. He was talking. This is how you talk. This is how self talk to God, the Lord of the universe.
Come on with it.
See, in these Catholic church, they want you to open. So they wanted you closed. So they gave you doctrines that'll close your heart and open it to men, not the Lord. If today, all the men we knew today didn't fear the men, we wouldn't be the position we in now. If all men respected the Lord, we wouldn't be in this position that we in now.
There you go. There you go. That's true, though.
So this is why it's no longer to the people. The people have been given the wisdom and the truth. Now is for the Lord. Now this is to the Lord. Y'all didn't realize Jesus was talking to the Lord, not to the people. The way he talked to the people is the way the Lord is with him. The way the people talk to Jesus as if the Lord ain't with them. He's teaching you, he's with you. Not you have to go and you have to do. All you got to do is be with him. You learn how to be with things. Have you learned how to be with the Lord of the universe? So here we go. We coming in. So here goes another one for your five senses. Number 45. To be at one with Allah, you got to understand how to be one. So here is deeper insight that give you even permanent ground to stand on. See, it ain't no time to go to or do anything. It's time to stand now. All we, the people, have to do is stand for the Lord. You ain't got to go. You ain't got to do. The Lord says just stand for the Lord. And your Lord will carry out his words. Did y'all catch it? The common day speech has no self-equivalence to the divine creator. In modernism today, self is lesser. And this is the opposite of what Jesus was speaking. Didn't Jesus say greater
is he.
is he.
That.
And we breaking down what is he.
Yes.
He is called self.
Right on.
See, the Romans took the self out.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's a new version of the way. Well, self ain't in the version of Rome's version of the way, labeled as Christianity. No, self has no equivalency to the divine creator. In fact, in the version from Rome, the Roman version, Christianity, you are born in sin.
Yep.
So you are lesser and you need to be saved. So how can you stand for the Lord? So let's get right into it. 45. This is what it means to be at one with all are. He, what we were saying in that phrase, greater is
he.
Oh,
Greater is self
than he that is in the world. You finna learn what is that being talked about.
What is it?
He who knows his own self. This is the beautiful part. We ain't talking about knowing Jesus. We ain't talking about knowing the prophets. We ain't talking about knowing falsehood.
That's right.
We talking about knowing the self. It's one thing Rome can't trick you out of. They might can give you a false belief system to believe in, but guess what? They can't say that you don't exist. You don't need no belief system to know that you exist.
Right on.
You don't need to call yourself anything to know that you exist. This is what it means. He. It didn't say he who does, he who goes, but it's he who knows. Now, we got to reverse it. The Christianity, the Roman version of the way, wants you to believe in others' name.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
When it's even simpler than that.
That's right.
Believe in yourself.
Self.
Jesus was teaching you how to believe in yourself. Oh, it's fit to get real good. That's the point. I'm glad you brought that forth.
Yeah.
Because you was supposed to believe in a king
or
some monarch, some rich man, instead of the Lord himself.
If you observe this society now, everything is set up on being somebody else. How many times have we heard the phrase, be like Mike, or be like Jack, or be somebody else, or emulate or imitate somebody else? When we supposed to be looking all alone, like we said, with him. all these images and games everybody been seeing and playing, and now they want to emulate and imitate all these above, and then wait on a thing called on Capitol Hill called your government. Wait on them to look out for you. When self supposed to be the main caretaker. I get it, because that's beautiful what you say. Mm-hmm.
We just unravel a divine wisdom, not taught by any church. Because the church is middleman.
Mm-hmm.
All institutions are middlemen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
What you say?
We're talking about the greater self that is in you. Watch how this come together now. In you. In you. In you means with you. In you means with you. And all one has to do is know. This is why the many roads of Rome lead you astray. But not one road in Rome leads you to know your own self. See, so Rome knows about the divine creator. Check this out now. Remember, they got their version.
That's right.
A version ain't the truth. It's a version of the truth. Truth and wisdom is its own. It don't belong to nobody. It's its own. The he that is greater is he who knows. Remember, somebody can be popping all outside, but we talking about greater is he who knows.
No.
What someone say don't change what one knows.
Yeah.
And we saying knows his own self, not anger. We ain't talking about knowing anger. We ain't talking about knowing negativity.
No.
We ain't talking about knowing emotion.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about knowing someone else's name for blame.
Yeah.
We talking about knowing what our great man, the great spiritual forefather, Abraham, knew. He knew his own self.
Beautiful.
And this is where it gets even greater. This is why this is the greater self. Because he who knows his own self knows the divine creator.
Beautiful.
See, and this is where we got to get this in right here. This right here covers is within and without. Really think about what's being said here in this short declaration.
Mm.
Let's go to what's not mentioned. The flesh not mentioned.
Mm.
Not he who knows his own flesh.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
The church have taught you you are born in sin, meaning that you are flesh.
Yeah.
The version from Rome teach you that you are a body.
Mm-hmm.
The divine creator said you not the body.
Mm-hmm.
The divine creator say you yourself is the self.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is opposite than a body.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the creator wants us to get to know, not the body, but the self. We talking that which is in you, that which is with you.
Mm.
You tell me you go anywhere, tell me what's with you. You can jump out your car, guess what's still gonna be with you?
Mm-hmm.
You can even have no money,
Mm-hmm.
guess what's gonna be with you? You can have all the money, but guess who will be destroyed by all of that money? Do y'all see what's happening here? To know is the gift. To don't know is to destroy. Then it says, stupid, don't you know the spirit of God dwelleth in? And who destroyed the temple, God will destroy. This is what it's saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know your own self,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be in poverty.
That's right.
You're going to be in so much poverty that you're now going to destroy
That's right.
your own self.
That's correct. Mm. Mm. Mm.
By not knowing the self.
Mm-hmm.
How many men knows his own self?
Not many.
That's what's called a man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's not, you don't find no singularity in men.
Mm-hmm.
You find singularity in man. Men is what's running the world.
Mm-hmm.
A man and a man is two different. This is what the divine creator is trying to get you to understand what Abraham had to do when it came to the people. The crowd was always around. The crowd don't know its own self. It has no nucleus. Remember, hydrogen don't have a nucleus. It can bond with everything. Everything you see is bonded with hydrogen. That's the material plane. Everything that you can't see is bonded by the self. Can you see the self? Or do you see the flesh? And you confusing yourself by misidentifying. Go to your mirror, and next time you go to your mirror and you look, that's not the self. That's the flesh. What is in you that thing talking when you're in the flesh. When you're looking in the mirror, you got that voice that speak. That's the self. But you didn't know that just yet. Now we're finna show you how all this come to be. Because you must know your own self, not neglect, not believe. Because all this comes together. You don't own not a single thing in this world, y'all.
No, we don't. That's what we can't.
But you own your goddamn self.
Yeah.
Have y'all thought about that? The only thing you own is your own self.
That's it.
You giving yourself away. When you are for your own. Let's reroute this now. See, because the version of the Roman way, you can own things. You think you own your car. You think you own your home. You think you own your land. You think you own the air. You think you own. But you don't own nothing.
No, don't own a thing.
Guess how the rich people got rich? Because they took this knowledge right here, this called this knowledge of self, and made you feel like now, since you didn't have knowledge of self, now you will know not to own yourself.
That's right.
You will want to own what others have. It's an old saying in the South, what you eat don't make me shit.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
See, we don't got time for all that book learning in the South.
We don't. We really don't.
So we had reality. What someone else ate didn't make you go to the restroom.
No, it didn't.
We taught reality in the South. Then these Romans come and then they want to get all Greek on us. Try to introduce us to a whole new version of the way. A Greek and Roman version. Fulfilled with background of history of Jewish history.
Yeah, and another thing I thought about, how they attack self and got you looking outward. If you don't have no money in your pocket, you notice how self feels. Like he's nobody now. Or he ain't got nothing. When he's rich, as rich can be, just by knowing self. But we ain't looking within, we somehow the outer have gotten all our attraction, our attention. And now, all we do, and this is what I'm saying, every day, man, destroying himself. When you think about a prostitute, she wouldn't be a prostitute if she would just keep herself, but she gives up herself. How you know? Just how important self is. Just showing you. That would stop the sin right now. Just getting no self, oneness of Allah. That stop all that.
So that's why you have the opposite of self called the people. Never have the people spoken what I'm speaking in all these teachings. I'm around plenty of people and they don't speak like this at all. From older, and we can't say the younger, they ain't been exposed. They ain't been drawn into no lessons. They ain't been brought in. I don't see people bringing people in to knowledge. I don't see people bringing in to wisdom. But everybody claims to know and have. You have never been told this before. That the Lord you looking for, the Lord you searching for, the Lord you praying to, the Lord you're asking for, if you would know your own self, you would know the Lord of the universe. This ain't about reading scriptures. This is about knowing your own self. If you are reading scriptures, it's for the benefit for you to know your own self. Now, did it say know others? Tell others what they're supposed to be doing. If you are the owner of self, how can you tell others what to do? Unless you're trying to enslave them. Called Romans. Romans have mastered the art of slavery, which means the art of not knowing who you are. And you ask a Negro today, who are you? He got all these Roman titles to give you. This understanding and wisdom said, he who knows his own self, did it say knows wrong? Did it say knows evil? This is the greatest thing to know, ain't it? I mean, for me, this is me talking personally now. This is the greatest thing for me to know. Not a book, not a person, but the Lord. I love all the prophets. I believe in all the prophets, but I want to know and meet the Lord, who the prophets was prophesying about. So when you go on a journey to find self, you think it's a journey to find self, and so you start searching. The journey of finding self is like you looking for yourself while you at home. And since you already at home, and since you already the self, the Roman books will cast you out of yourself and tell you to go search for yourself, which means go outside of your own house and look back inside of the house to find the self. This is what stupidity has done for over 30 years. Telling you to go outside the house. And then when you look inside of the window, you say, ain't nobody there. If the self keep looking for itself inside of the house that it just walked out of, will it ever find itself? And that's the Roman conundrum, the infinite regress. You can't find yourself. Let that settle in. This is why Jesus was so great in his time.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to find.
Sure did.
He knew.
Sure did.
There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Those searching and looking for self will never find self. Because that's what you are. What you look at is not the self. It's a special way that you have to understand the self to be able to look at self, or they say to look at God. This is a high spiritual training that was made simple as we was born, and we were supposed to learn this just as simply. And we wouldn't have none of the trouble that we in now.
That's right.
You wouldn't go in reverse. You will stay that growing all the way forward.
Beautiful.
Because this is what leads to all the little habits we have created.
That's right.
Us not knowing who we are.
That's correct.
So we trying this, trying that.
Mm-hmm.
We thinking it's that and this making the self feel good when it's the self.
That's right.
That's feeling good.
Yeah. And now you thinking somebody you got to help, but that go to show you how you could be brainwashed. Cause now you need somebody else to make you feel good. This is what we had.
This is what happened, and that's why evil starts spreading.
Yeah. And another thing I was thinking of as you were speaking, I was thinking alone about Jesus. I don't see nowhere that he wastes any time or a moment seeking the material world of the thing, seeking a chariot. They had chariots back then. They was like Rolls Royces and all, the finest automobile you could have. A chariot with that. That sounds sweet. Mm-hmm. Chariot, like chariot. Mm-hmm. He wasn't after none of these things that everybody want to be possessed with now. Mm-hmm. This is what we goes after. He didn't seek and went after none of that. Even the money. Everybody after the money now. And if you don't have no money, they don't even want to be a friend of you, associate with you. Now, this is how far we done got off, ready to go off the cliff. If you don't have no money, they won't even socialize. They say you ain't good enough. Look what money done done. Ain't seeking self. How you do?
And this what the Roman version of the way made self confuse itself with its own identity. The meaning of this is what's the greatest that any believer needs to discover. What a believer needs to discover is right in this divine instruction. The instruction is he who knows his own self knows all are. This is the greatest declaration that could be said to any living being. You might be used to seeing the word God. So put the word God there for yourself. He who knows his own self knows God.
Okay.
We talking about what does things truly mean without you making nothing up.
There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful.
You don't have to make up the self. You exist. If you know you exist, then you know God. Now watch how this get deep now. That's filler words. The Romans put filler words such as God so you wouldn't understand what is God. Why is God? The meaning of God is all are. The meaning of God is all are. We're talking about nothing left out. All. So if you heard of the devil, Satan, we ain't excluding the devil or Satan. We talking all. If we want to know all, including the devil and including love divine, his name is self.
That's right.
What are you being? See how you have capability to create both? What the creator say? I create peace and I create darkness. Check this out now. This is why this is very important. Because now we got to find out, what does Allah mean? See, from this statement, we can understand and comprehend, but it takes wise contemplation. Wisdom is gained through wise contemplation, not through you going, not through you doing. Wise thinking, wise contemplation is how you get wise. Wisdom is a contemplation of comprehension. So it has nothing to do with going nowhere or doing anything. See, and then now you're getting closer to who you are. Self is the one that can self-contemplate what he knows. Come on now. Don't know all the other animal can know what they know.
That's right. Ain't that beautiful?
It's such a design that we can only say.
Yeah.
That's why we're working our way here to the meaning of the name of our divine creator.
Beautiful.
We have his true name, which is all are.
Beautiful.
But it means something.
There you go.
And this is the gift that's being given to us. The meaning of the divine creator. And we find out the meaning of the divine creator is self.
Yeah. And I would like to say to you that when you brought the super on board, that's the only book that give you a number from 1 to past 100. And everything that you see is the name of Allah. Ain't no other book say that, do that. The Bible don't do it, the Holy Quran don't do it. Because when I studied the Quran, it didn't the size tell you each number what it meant in the name. And everything you see increasing, it has the name of Allah. I get it for.
That's right. And that's the wonder of why now, with truth being revealed, we can say that those books are for babies.
That's right.
Because they ain't telling you the direct truth.
That's right.
They more mystical.
There you go.
Like you got to contemplate.
There you go.
So after contemplation done, this is how you get wise. Where you just done contemplated these sayings. Going deep within the self to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's how you figure out. It's all talking about self. Self is the only thing you own. You get that out your mind that you're going to own anything else.
Yeah, that's right.
Self is the divine creator.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Why does it say it's he who knows his own self? See, now it's telling us. Because this is the opposite of what we're trying to know as the source. We want to know the primary source. Because if we understand the primary source, that means this is the source that where all of existence comes from. So if we can comprehend where all existence comes from, then it ain't nothing we can create, or it ain't nothing we can't make.
That's right.
Because the Lord made all things. So if we get the comprehension that the Lord itself, hold up.
Yeah.
So this is the beautiful part right here. Did we know that the name of the divine creator it's a geometry,
Mm-hmm.
it's a universal
Mm-hmm.
harmonic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an equation.
Mm-hmm.
It's an equation of the self.
That's right.
To know these three, this is what is called modern day the third eye.
Yeah.
The third eye is in reference to the three eyes. And this is what's getting very important for us, because now we're getting the point right here. He who knows his own self see, it's something that he can do.
Yeah.
He can get to know his own self.
That's right.
That's two.
Mm-hmm.
One and one.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his own self. This is how you make two one. He is self. If he knows his own self, he knows all are. That makes three ones. He, self, and Allah. The third eye. This is why they say you have three dimensions. The front, the back, and the within. See, before we get this statement, we're supposed to be well read in the prophet's teachings. From Abraham all the way up to Jesus. And all these was prophecies and lessons to be fulfilled. What was to come was the everlasting wisdom. That's why none of these books say that, because it's not the wisdom, but it's the will of the Creator. But now we're talking about the wisdom And this is the direct wisdom from the divine creator. The divine creator is telling you he has a self. Now we want to ask ourselves, what does self mean? And this is where we go back and forth. Self means Allah, and Allah means self. But there's something deeper right in between the two. Through wise contemplation, this is what our ancestors, our Moorish ancestors, left behind for us, the Marab Arab, the divine people of Arabia. This name for the creator, his true name, is a divine equation to self. It's universal. That's why it's called the one. It's geometrical because it can produce all forms. All geometries is produced by this equation. And this is how they wrote out the equation, like they would say math problems in school or something. This is wisdom equation. This is how you become wise. Wise knowledge. So self is Allah and Allah itself, but now they're telling us it's something that we need to know with these two. And it took forever to figure this out. And it comes down to all of the clues being left behind, such as the third eye, and then let your eye be single. So this is all in unification with oneness, different versions of the original truth. So the original truth was single and unique. And then they changed it to a trinity, and it became co-equal and co-personal. This is what the Romans did. Before they got their hands on that, it was unified and in unity. And the unity was this: that the meaning of self and the name of the divine creator is the name of the meaning. Let me pull this up right quick. We've been thinking, because we've been taught by people who didn't know the creator. So we got the Persians. These are the people who taught the Quran pronunciation. Allah. Allah. That's how the Persians teach the pronunciation out of their Quran, their Umayyadik Quran. The Romans, how they pronounce Allah in their version of the way, which is Christianity, is God. Allah and God, in its true pronunciation, is the same word. But this is what we've been wanting to figure out, myself. Why God and why Allah? So these two names are names of the divine creator. But these two names are not the accurate pronunciation. So they've been able to rule the world because we've been calling on things outside of ourselves. So the names they gave us, like God, it sounds like we're calling on something outside of ourselves. God, save us. It's like we're calling on something. Then they teach us Allah, and it sounds like we're using it the same way we use God. Like we're crying out for something. That was done intentionally to curse us. Now we got the understanding of what all of this means. So now, as we see, that's why it was called faith in the way. It's simple. It's so simple that it's called the one. So the one means without two. So you don't have to remember two things, or it's also saying that the Creator's pronunciation of his name is not two, but it's one. Now, this is very important. Let me show this before we go further. We're going to say it with the Quran pronunciation. Allah. Allah is known as the one. We're going to say it in the Bible pronunciation. God. God is known as the one. So this is what they did. They used these two names to rule. So these are the two dominant powers. The Quran and the Bible. The Quran got over 1 billion believers. The Bible got over 2 billion believers. And they all pronounce it the same way. And whoever come in under that version is going to pronounce it the same way, which is now going to throw us all off and get us worshiping something not found within the self. So I want us to see on the screen, number 3, that Allah is referred to as the one. And God is referred to as the one in the Bible. So now when we're talking about what does this really mean? Both of this word, Allah and God, means the self. Right? So now the key is to find out what the self means. And then once we find out what the self means, now we got the correct pronunciation of the divine creator, who we was calling Allah and God. Now we got sounding right precision. So I'm going to slow this, bring this in. Surah 45, the self. The self means the one. The self means the one. The one means the being. So now when you hear teachings about Allah being a divine being, well, I say a divine being in the lesson, they say supreme being. They say Allah is a supreme being. So now we're talking about the self. When we talk about Allah, that's the proof right here. The self. Now we're finna go into and find out what is the one. Because if I hold up, or when you put on your shoes, that's 2 shoes. That's not one. That's called a pair. The creator is the one. So this is how clean the creator is. The one, ain't nothing else in the way. It's the one. And what we need to understand about the one is that this is the being, not the flesh. The flesh ain't the being. The human ain't the being. The human is the self. The human is the one. This is why they call it the human being. The human being, the self. The one who is the Lord. So now be comes from this word being. Being the one who is the self. And so it took a long time to get to this supreme divine wisdom. Now we're going to go down on under Sufa 45 and we're going to find out what is the one. And the first thing we find is that the one is the I. That's the pinnacle of divine wisdom. That the divine creator name that the divine creator true name that the divine creator, the one deity, and his true name is I. Yeah. This whole time, these other nations have been getting us to call our creator by other names. And this is how they took on rulership in these different nations. If you notice, every nation got a name for God.
Yeah.
The true pronunciation of this spelling, this rendition, is I. This is the one. How many letters in I? The name of the divine creator has been hidden from us. Number 6, the awareness of the I. So it's saying to us in wise contemplation, he who knows his own self knows I. What does self mean? I. This is the greater self. The greater self is called I. This is why it says, who knows his own self. The only ingredient of self is the one called I. And whatever you put after that, is it not so to be? And this is what's called the divine mystery of mysteries, the holy of holies, the inner sanctuary from the outer court. And so this is where they get 3 eyes from, or the third eye. Our divine ancestors were so powerful and so wise, especially Abraham. When you see the name written out, it's like a musical note. It's like a chord that makes music. And we know to make a chord, which is a song, you need 3. And so the eye comes from the 3 eyes. I is the first. The second one, I, Suf, I, The divine creator, this is why if you say that one of the most powerful stories of Jesus is written in the book of John. The word John, in its correct pronunciation, is the word I. This is why there's a strong I reference in the book of John when it comes to Jesus and saying I and the Father are one. That's called ion. I, Suf, I, is who I manifested to be. You, your own self, manifested to be. But it's through these distractions that we didn't find who we are. So the 3 eyes is bringing back to remembrance, the recalling, the reminding. And the third eye is I-salom. This is the holy, holy, holy. This is how self talk to God, the Lord of the universe. See, this is called divine law. Now you may understand what this divine law is instructing. Number 5, the beginning point from which all lesser law manifests. What's the beginning point now? Ain't the beginning called the magnificent?
That's right.
That's the word al-nifis, the self. So the beginning point of the self is I. From I, all lesser law manifests. I, what they call the all-seeing. There we go. This is what they made into Lucifer, the all-seeing eye. I is the one true and only divine creator. The first law is divine law, and so the law of I. What did Jesus always say? I. What he said was before Abraham. I. Who is am? Self. That was the divine communication with Abraham. When the I spoke to Abraham, that's when he left the land and did what the Lord told him to do. Quick recap. Check this out. When Abraham was 90 years old and 9. This is where the Quran tells you about the 99 names of Allah. What I just revealed is what no Imam, no Isan, no Mumin, no Imam, and no Caliph, no Sultan, no Sheikh has said, because this truly frees anybody. So here come the Lord speaking to Abraham. At 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. The divine creator name is I. Everybody been teaching us wrong from sun up to sundown for over 2,000 years. Walk before me and be you perfect. This is the covenant between I and self. I, self, Lord and Master. I, Salam. All Suf, I am. self was created by I. Let not a man who claims knowledge of things divine place himself between you and I. See, don't let no physical form be placed in between the self and the I. If he does, cast him out as an impostor.
Good goodness alive. Man, that pretty much go for everybody.
This is what it's saying. If a teacher does not read or produce these words in tongue, saying they are too complicated or too sacred, cast him out as an impostor. If a man raises himself as a king, saying I ordains it, seize him and cast him out as an impostor. This is how they flipped the whole script on us and got us worshiping gods not found within the self.
That's right.
We made it to the beginning point, the point of permanence. The meaning of the name of what we've been saying as Allah and God. Now you really got some food to chew on. That's wise knowledge. All wise knowledge is honored in Absalom, except that which is make-believe. Now tell me, can I make that up? Is that make-believe the lesson we just had? Or was this wise knowledge?
No.
Ask your pastors now, your preachers now, your imams now, what does God and Allah mean? Then none of them will tell you, I. Salam is first a devotion to self-knowledge and self-restraint to honor God through your good works and virtuous life. Salam always pertained to self. This is why they changed it and said Islam. You see what's missing from it?
Yeah.
The I. Our creator starts off with I. This is why it's Salam. Because I is responsible for everything we think and do.
That's right. That's right.
So we're gonna Leave the all fatia open for all eyes to come in. Now you see why they say it's always eyes on you. Whenever you think no one's looking, there's someone looking. The eye is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
As-salam, as-salam, as-salam. All Subayam. I love you more.